All right. Now for a change of pace, or just switching gears, we are going to go to our second and final topic of the ProduceCast, which is a Produce 48 related topic. So it kind of started off in our Discord. Again, join our Discord, the Truly Daebak Discord. It is mutual lit. We were kind of talking about talking about our ideal groups, or just maybe or what our ideal Produce 48 group would be outside of, or I made the caveat outside of everyone or outside of people that made IS1, just to make it a bit more interesting instead of just stacking it with IS1 members. So that's what we did. We made a 12 member group out of anyone that didn't make the final 12 groups, and then we made a smaller subunit or side group which was mainly focused on vocalists. So think a Mamamoo or that kind of group. So yeah, it was pretty fun, and you're definitely welcome to do your own, make your own ideal or dream Produce 48 groups in the comments below. So Nate, you can start us off again.
Yep. So my lineup was as follows, and the order of this is just the order that they ended the show at, their ranking. So it's not particularly my favorite order or anything. Number 1 is Hancho Wan. Number 2 is Econ. Number 3 is Miyazaki Miho. Number 4 is Takahashi Juri. Number 5 is Takeuchi Miyu. Number 6 is Park Haein. Number 7 is Shiroma Miru. Number 8 is Murase Sai. Number 9 is Haein Jin. Number 10 is Wang Zhi. Number 11 is Ishion. And number 12 is Go Yujin. So for this, Choan was pretty obvious for me. She really showed her vocals off throughout the show and had a chance to make it into the final group, but didn't. And I thought I don't think if I had to make my lineup with people who made it into Produce 48, she wouldn't be in it. Or made it into IS1. But I think she did deserve it. And then Egon obviously should have made it. That was a horrible tragedy.
Like I said, it's not called getting Jungyeon anymore. It's getting Khan.
Yeah, for real. It's even worse in my opinion.
Yeah, seriously, it's way worse. Because remember, what's his name? What's his stage name again? Because I just know his real name is. I think he actually goes by JR from the US. Yeah.
Yeah, JR.
So yeah, Jungyeon. I just call him Jungyeon. He wasn't always in top 12, whereas Khan was always in top 12.
Yep.
There was never there was never a time where she was not in that top 12. So for her to drop out like this was just insane.
Yep. And then I thought Miho, Juri, and Miru were all good enough to make it. Obviously all the Japanese members kind of just got dropped out at the end, which we talked about in length in the ProduceCast, so I don't really need to elaborate too much more into that, but I think they all could have been in the group. So I have them on my list. And then obviously Miyu was my number 1 Japanese trainee, so I really wanted her to make it, and she didn't, so she's on this list for obvious reasons. Park Haein, I thought she was a great vocalist. So I think she would do well, as well. Same with Yoonjin and Murase Sai. Sai was more I think Sai is probably the prettiest Japanese trainee. So I think I put her more in for visuals. But that's just personal.
She was a good dancer too. I mean, remember she was in Rumors.
Yeah.
Exactly. You couldn't half-ass that choreography.
That was the thing. She had really good stage presence, I thought, for the songs that she did.
Yeah, that's
especially near the end
as well.
Yeah, and that's a big near the end. That's a big thing for the biggest misconception is all of the 48 group members are objectively worse or less talented than but no, again, in terms of stage presence, obviously you're not going to dancing in front of a mirror isn't going to get you the same sort of experience that performing every week in your theater does. So again, it wasn't a surprise to me that we'd get somebody with as good stage presence as Murase Saya did.
Yep. Haein, Jacob obviously like get mad at me if I didn't.
Yeah,
put her on this
honestly,
list,
Jacob
so.
would kill us if we didn't
You
put Kirin-chan.
Dude,
No,
honestly,
but I
she
thought
has to be in the group.
I thought she did a really good job and she would have fit well as well. I'm interested to see what her and Kan do. Wang Yiren, I think, was another good, like, more visual stage presence member. Ishian also impressed me, like, in the later stages, with her, like, dancing skills and stage presence skills. And then, Go Eugene, obviously killed it until she got
13th member of Luna.
She's the 13th Luna girl.
Killed it until she got kicked off before she could perform Rumor,
which is bullshit.
But there's nothing we could do about it. So yeah, that's my group. Obviously, I think like out of my, if we included ISO members, there'd probably be about like 8 of them in this list. But yeah, out of the people that didn't make it, I think this is who I would put in. And then for my vocal, like, I don't know what we're calling, like IBI, JBJ type group.
Or you could be, in your case, it's pretty much almost a subunit because you have 3 members that made your main group essentially, and then not go on.
Yeah, exactly. So I thought for vocal group, like Hancho On, Takeuchi Miyu, Park Hae-yoon were all really, really good vocalists that didn't make it. And then also Nagon really showed her skills off near the end. So she was memorable to me as someone who, I wouldn't put her in my main group, but I think she would have definitely made a vocal group.
All right. Next, we've got Jacob's list, so go for it.
Yep. All right, so first off, we have Econ, which, like, for me, she was easily in my top 5, like, throughout the entire thing. Like, I was rooting for her, like, consistently to get into the group, and I was honestly, like, kind of, like, extremely shocked when she wasn't in the final group, and I was like, excuse me, Korea? What do you do?
Basically, that's all you have to say. Excuse me, Korea. You can quote that, Jacob. Excuse me, Korea.
Yeah, I was like that was the biggest shock of the entire show, is that she did not make the entire group, because she was in like literally like top 5 the entire time almost. Like, it was crazy. I'm really excited to see what she does in the future. Coming up next, we have another Playlist trainee.
Kirin-chan!
Yes, my favorite, Haein. Like, it's kind of funny, because with her, like, with the, like, audition videos, like, immediately I just, like, chose her. I was like, I like her. I hope she does good. And she did. Because, like, Into the New World, her vocals, like, literally destroyed me. It was so good.
Okay, if she didn't do Into the New World, would she still be your fixed pick?
She'd be one of them still, I think. It'd be between her and the next person, which is Park Hae-yoon, which back to Into the New World for a couple seconds. Like, that song just means a lot to me, just because I'm an SNSD stan, so on, whatever. It's just like, that song is so good and so impactful. But yeah, anyways, next we have Park Hae-yoon, which, again, another really, really great vocalist. And she stood out to me, like, right from the beginning with with the FNC trainees, like right off the bat, like FNC, just they had really, really good vocalists right off the bat with the auditions and stuff. Although what really made her like stand out the most was like how much she was like helping lead and help her teammates, especially the Japanese ones.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure. I know she's debuting soon. I hope she's the leader, because honestly, she's really good.
Yeah, the new FNC group,
Cherry Bullet. Like that.
Cherry Bullet, that's right. Yeah. I couldn't remember the other word.
I'm really excited for that, so hopefully their debut is really good. All right, so next up we have Wang Yidan, and so I was on the fence of adding her and someone else, but I kind of ended up adding her just because I feel like she's on the more like refined side of things, I guess, as far as like her skill and talent and stuff. Although, like, throughout the show, she kind of, like, was a little off-putting to me. She seemed like the, I don't know, like perfect Chinese princess kind of
vibe.
You know what I mean?
I mean, granted, she really was the picky of the show. Like, if you really think about it,
like I didn't dislike her. She was just a little too perfect, if that makes sense. Like Andrew said a second ago.
I know what you mean.
Oh, because you don't really get to see much. Unless you don't get much screen time unless you're like super like charismatic on camera or you're fucking up a lot, and she kind of didn't do any of that, honestly. Which is, again, it's not a slight against her. It's just that Mnet's not going to give you a lot of screen time unless you're interesting in that sort of way.
Yep. So next we have Ishian. She was also on my list of people who I would have been okay with making Eyes One. She. Honestly, it's just based on the fact that I feel like she stood out quite well in pretty much every performance she was in. So she's overall pretty good, like all-rounder, I guess, in that way. Like her vocals were alright, her dancing was alright. So yeah. Next we have Nagoen. She was definitely one of the best vocalists. She didn't stand out to me as much as like Yoonjin or Haein did, but I think either way, like, she definitely deserves the, like, I guess props for, like, you know, just how good her vocals were, I guess, basically.
I mean, she's coming from RBW, so if she didn't have good vocals.
Exactly. like same company as Mamamoo, like, you gotta have good vocals.
There are huge expectations for whatever is gonna happen with her, honestly.
Yep. I'm excited to see what group they put her in. I hope they come out with something. And I hope it doesn't like disappear off the face of the planet like Pop did.
Oh, rip. Or like how Romance doesn't do as much. And again, they've just been really bad with anyone not named.
Makes me sad. Like she was so good, and then they just started doing ballads.
Yeah, because I think they might just be more interested in doing OSTs and ballads, because that's kind of like.
I mean, they're just vocal trainers, anyways.
Ultimately, they're vocal trainers. They don't want to be idols necessarily.
Yeah. All right. So, anyways, from here we basically have my J line. So I put Murase Sae, and basically it was a similar reason for Nate. Like she just stands out really well because she's really pretty. She has really good stage presence. She, I feel like she just stands out on the stage really well, and that definitely helps a group overall, like especially with the performance side. Next we have Takahashi Juri. She was honestly, like I would have put her in Eyes One. Like if I had to choose
definitely
like 4 or 5 Japanese members, she easily would have been a lock in there for Eyes One. Shidoma Miru, she is another one that's in the same boat. Like I also would have put her in Eyes One overall. So I was definitely again I was pretty surprised she didn't make it, honestly. Because she was pretty popular throughout the show, it seemed like, at least.
I think she seemed popular, but only amongst the actual Produce 48 like contestants. Like she's basically everyone's girl crush, but I don't really know if she ever made it popular amongst like the voting fan base necessarily. So
yeah. Another one is Takeuchi Miyu. For her, like her vocals, like I guess speak for themselves. Like, She was another one of the Japanese trainees that stood out the most to me, so I definitely had to have her on the list. Next we have Gotomoe, which I put her on the list just because I think she showed like the most like clear growth throughout the show, among the Japanese contestants. And honestly, again, I was surprised she didn't make it in Eyes One, just because she was really popular throughout the whole show, just because of her, like, I guess, growth storyline that was sort of going on through it. I honestly expected her to get in. And then lastly is Iwatate Saho, which I could pretty much just put her on because I like her, so I think she's cute. So there we go.
Just tell them that you like eating crickets or something, because Saho's the one.
Yeah, and Andrew, I told Andrew that I liked her, and then he was like, "Oh, she eats crickets." I was like, "Wow, weird flex, but okay."
That was the thing. If you've never watched, for those of you listening, if you've never watched that AK Bingo clip where she, like, it's as punishment, they're supposed to eat like an obento with like rice and The meat is it's like fried crickets or whatever.
Wasn't it like they specifically had to eat her bento box?
Yeah, she makes it. She shapes the crickets in like the shape of a heart and puts it in the bento. And then like she's like
So
as
weird.
like a test, she's like like she actually like eats it like straight up and like with like no cringe or whatever whatsoever. Like she legitimately likes
to eat
crickets.
crickets.
They must taste good.
Yeah, I've never tried it, and I don't know if I want to try it. But maybe if we go to Japan, we'll try crickets.
I'm good.
All right. So next we have basically my vocal subunit, or I guess whatever you call it. Well, only 4 of them in this were actually in the Eyes One group, just because one of them I feel like just shouldn't be. Not because I don't like them, but because like they're in another
You want them
group
in another
already.
group. Yeah.
Yes. All right. So basically, I just picked like my 5 favorite vocalists that didn't make it in Eyes One. So Park Haein, again, honestly, she should have been in Eyes One overall, anyways. In my opinion, I think she was easily one of the best vocalists in the show. Haein as well, like her vocals again were like easily some of the best in the show for me. So again, from here we have the 3 that I guess weren't as obvious for me. Takahashi Juri out of the 3 is probably the most go-to. And then I have Nagoen, who we talked about earlier. She had good vocals. RBW. And then Janggyuri was my 5th choice. I didn't want her in Eyes One just because I wanted her to go back to From Us 9, where I guess we're back where she belongs.
We needed to fill out the 9.
Yeah, basically. I'm not here for From Us 8.
And then they put out their best song ever.
Yeah, they put out their
When
best
she
song.
came back.
Yep.
Second best song of the year.
Yep.
All right, that leaves me and my choices. So for my groups, I decided to do main group I tried to do it around like concept originally. So my main group is basically just kind of trying to be like the girl crush group because I'm never gonna get that with Eyes One. Or we'll see. Again, they proved me wrong with Lavie and Rose, so who knows. Yeah, I wanted this to be more of a girl crush group, so I picked members who'd probably fit more with girl crush. And the vocal group's just obviously just a vocal group straight up. So, starting off, we've got the Giraffe Twins, we've got Econ and Haein. So obviously, I think both of these could have made it in. Or if anything, at least Econ, again, like we mentioned, that's probably the biggest travesty that's probably honestly the biggest travesty in all of Produce 101 history.
In all of television history.
All of television history.
Yes.
The biggest in all of history.
The biggest upset in all of human history.
Yeah,
history.
Definitely. Just her not making it was just nonsense. And I feel like, again, she'd probably be the leader of this group that I'm making here. And
Probably,
yeah, she's a great leader, especially. And I feel like she'd probably sort of set the tone for how I wanted the group to be. I essentially built the group around her ultimately. Obviously, Haein, I love Kirin-chan a lot, and you can't separate those two. They are attached at the hip for the rest of their lives, honestly. Like,
I hope they end up in the same group, honestly. I hope
they have to be.
Both of them.
They have to be in the same group. If they're not in the same group, there's no point. There's honestly no point in them in Pledis doing anything unless they're together, honestly. Because at this point, they've been training together.
I wouldn't be surprised if Gon went solo, but I hope she's in a group. I would prefer that.
I want this to be
even
the
though she was
con.
already in after school for 3 days.
You know, they need this to be
3
the
days.
con.
Seemed that way, at least.
They need this to be like the con of Pledis, basically, just like 2 amazing like vocalists and performers, just like doing a duo. Like we don't have too many female duos, so it'd just be a really unique sort of thing for them to do.
Only one I can think of is 15 and.
So say
15 and Bulbavensa. That's it.
And
Bulbagen, obviously, yeah.
Jacob, come on.
What?
Come on, Jacob.
Oh, Shabbat?
The Arc.
Or the Arc? No, that's Khan.
I know there's a female duet.
Yeah.
Other than what we
favorite,
mentioned,
like,
all right. I literally just
I
said I want this to be the con of Pledis, so we're obviously going to mention.
I missed you saying con. Sorry.
Yeah. Con. Anyway, next up we've got Hancho-an, who again I basically like half of this or almost half of this lineup is people that were in Rumor, or that basically I just wanted to reunite the Rumor lineup. Essentially, that's like half the reason I made this lineup. So like Hancho-an's in there, obviously great, surprisingly good rapper, a great dancer, again shockingly good vocalist. So she's probably one of the most well-rounded members of this group. To be completely honest, Go Yujin.
Correction for earlier. I said Del Shabbat. I meant Davikshi.
I was wondering.
I was like,
Del Shabbat.
no, I was like,
It's like
I knew that's wrong.
It's
It's
not
like,
a duet.
it starts with a D. It's Davikshi. Yeah.
Davichi, yeah, but Davichi is just like more
Yeah.
like ballady as opposed to just like
Yeah.
K-pop, if anything. So yeah, Go Yujin. I have to put the 13th Luna girl in here, being the #1 Luna stan of truly Daebak. Yeah, again, I seriously, I could have, like, how would it have been, honestly, if Go Yujin actually got to perform Rumor? Honestly, like, you know how big the song is now. Like,
She
imagine
fits
how
the
big.
concept, that's for sure.
Again, they were saying like the concept was made for her essentially. Just like she was like the one teaching them all the choreography and everything. She had the She was the center. She had the choreography down pat. Like,
So I
it's such
forget
a shame.
why couldn't she do it again?
Because she got eliminated right before the.
Oh yeah,
she got
that's what
eliminated,
happened.
like which was
Okay.
nonsense. Because I don't like she was like the last person. She was I think yeah, she was one of the ones. She was on the bubble basically, and it was so like she should have made it. She should have at least got to perform Rumor, and it's such a shame that we'll never see it. We'll never see it. Next we have Isian again, another member of Rumor. But I'll put these two together. Isian and Kim Chi-hoon. They did a really good job with Rumor, and they surprised me a lot just because maybe they weren't on my radar prior to that, but. Yeah, they did a very good job fitting the concept, especially Kim Chi-hoon because at first, like, sort of if you were going over the storyline, she was having trouble being the center, just like conveying the sort of image that they wanted out of this, and she did an incredible job, honestly. Just sort of bringing the sort of mood that they wanted to the performance. And moving on to my J line, obviously, like when I say Sai might actually be like the most popular one besides like Takeuchi Miyu, out of all of us. Obviously, I'm gonna add her. Like, she stood out in Rumor a lot. Super talented. Has her own fashion line, freaking like crazy, like stan talent, man. Like she's crazy talented, honestly. So I have to add her. Tamago, I have to add Takahashi Juri because she should have totally made with how popular she was. I'm still shocked. I'm still so shocked she didn't make the final lineup because again I feel like she definitely had a lot of Korean fans, definitely. Just like when you're getting nicknames as one of like the 48 group members, that means you're popular. Like you're definitely getting the screen time to justify it as well. So love Juri, obviously not as much as Aubrey loves Juri, but she definitely deserved to be in the group. Shiro Mamiru, she's probably my favorite member of NMB48, honestly, right now, with Sayane leavings, and obviously, like she's definitely like the visual of the group. Just like freaking her eyes just are straight up anime eyes, like not even joking. If you look at pictures of Shiro Mamiru, they're just like obnoxiously huge, and she's obviously, if we're wondering how this group's gonna get funding, she's apparently her parents are her dad's filthy stinking rich. She's like a princess, so her dad's gonna like fund the whole thing, and they're gonna get amazing comebacks, and they're never gonna have to worry about cutting back for the group. Like, yeah, she's perfect for this group.
She's an heiress.
Yeah, she's an Ojo-sama, literally. She's straight up an Ojo-sama from anime. We have Kojima Macoco. Again, I felt like she was so under the radar. I love Kojima Macoco so much. Just really fun personality. She did a really good job of during the hand clap performance, just as dancing. Again, like she was really just proving that the 48 group members could actually dance. And she had a coupling song on one of the most recent. She had a coupling song on Sentimental Train where she did a really good dance number as well. So again, I think she could bring that aspect to it. Matsui Jurina. Obviously, I think Jurina has to be like my overall favorite member of 48 group at this point. So honestly, I have to add her.
I might have had her in there if we had got to see her more.
Yeah, basically. that's the biggest shame, honestly, just because I felt like when we're talking about stage presence, she has like she's probably one of the most stage present, like, period, like Korean, Japanese, like whatever, like of all. So yeah, it was such a shame that she had to drop out, honestly, because I would have loved to. She would have made that final group, honestly. There's no way that Jurina wasn't making that final group for better or worse, honestly. Yeah, it sucks obviously that she didn't make it because of her health conditions, but definitely like, she won me over as a fan immediately. And the last choice. Technically, they weren't in
Cheating.
There's no technicality.
It's not cheating.
They just weren't.
There's no. I said 48 group members are eligible, but you guys don't care enough about 48 group to actually have know people that aren't in Produce 48. So the last member of this group would be Yamamoto Sayaka. I've explained this a lot before, where basically she's a huge K-pop fan, literally studied Korean or like knows or tried to learn Korean just so she could understand K-pop songs better. Literally, if she wasn't graduating this year, she would have been on the show. Honestly, she would have been on the show, and I would have done my best to rig the votes so hard for her to make it. Again, I feel like she would have appealed because she's a singer-songwriter. She does all of her music herself. She's amazing. She's amazing at guitar, has an amazing voice. She can do girl crush concepts. She can do like acoustic ballad songs, has an amazing voice. Like she's easily like, she's not just an idol. Like she's basically like, she's like the, I don't know if I were to make comparisons, she's like the Zico of like 48 group basically in just terms of like incredible like amounts of talent that she has. And yeah, being an idol is almost kind of holding her back to some degree just because like her solo stuff's just incredible. So I would have loved to see her like do K-pop or just be on the show. Just like that's like my wildest my wildest dream, just to see her compete on it, and like just to see how it would have been. And she has the popularity too. Like she was before she bowed out of Sosenkyo, she was hitting top 12 like consistently. Like she had the popularity in it, and now that she's graduating again, we've kind of have like a bit of a power vacuum when it comes to NMB48. But so we'll see. But yeah, she would have made it. She would have been my favorite member had she been on Produce 48. My vocal group, which I decided to make like completely different members because I didn't think everyone necessarily fit the concept. I'll start off with Park Haein again. Really popular member, and I really can't wait for the FNC group. Honestly, I really can't wait. It's going to be one of the first groups to debut with members that were on Produce 48. Not going. Obviously, the Haein and Goon, like they're bonded for life. They're going to be trading high notes, and everyone's going to like pit them together until the end of eternity, because that's literally the only storyline that they had in Produce 48, just them going back and forth with high notes. Jang Gyuri, because Gyuri is literally my bias in From His Nine now. I think at this point, like, she'd probably be my bias in this group, honestly, just because I'm glad
I can't choose a bias in From His. I keep choosing one. And they get instantly.
I mean, granted, it was in From His 8. It was Jiwon, just because I love Jiwon. But now it's 100%. It's Gyuri, but I'm just really glad that she's definitely starting to prove, or she's starting to shed the sort of, oh my god, she messed up the peekaboo high note sort of thing. And I think like, yeah, I don't really get that.
That was so overblown. Like if they didn't play it 5 times in a row, I wouldn't have noticed.
Yeah,
that much.
Because for those that haven't been following From His post or Gyuri post ProduceCast, like her vocals on Love Bomb are incredible. Like, again, she's one of their best singers as well. So again, she did not deserve that reputation whatsoever, and I think she could have a chance to prove that. And essentially, for this vocal group, I'm just trying to reunite everyone that was on The Truth Untold, because that was just probably one of the best vocal performances. So obviously that includes Takeuchi Miyu. You're gonna get a singer-songwriter again, just incredible vocalist, someone that can produce your songs, like technically as well. So she's incredible. Miyazaki Miho, again, just super underrated vocalist. Again, I feel like if it wasn't for her hitting number 1 before the finale, I think there was a good chance she could have made the group. And again, she has the popularity with the Japanese fans as well. And Iwatate Saho, again, man, it sucks that she didn't really get too much of a chance to prove herself as a vocalist, because I thought she was good. It's just like, again, her big thing was with when she was on High Tension, she just didn't stand out as much, unfortunately. But I still think she was a good vocalist, and yeah, she definitely proved it on Truth Untold. So yep, that's the vocal group. It would just be a completely separate group. I did make a tiny like third group, but I didn't. I'll just literally it was just Wang Yidon. It was just a visual group of Wang Yidon, Kim Choyeon, Eagle Eyes.
Oh god, so intense.
Murakawa Vivian, just because she's literally like, Murakawa Vivian just has permanent like puppy dog face, so I have to she's a visual. And non-Produce 48 member Ogedo Yuka, who is literally like the visual of NGT 48 and basically like all of 48 group at this point. So yeah, that wraps up our lists. Please let us know what you think of our lineups, and you're more than welcome to make your own fantasy Produce 48 lineups in the comments below. So yeah, that'll do it for ProduceCast episode 7. It's just 2 topics today. I don't know. Again, probably the next time we'll be back is for whenever the post 101 disbandment topic, unless Eyes One's like, surprise, we have a repackage or something like that. Yeah, that's probably the next time we're gonna go for ProduceCast. In the meantime, you're more than welcome to check out the Daebak Cast, which is our main podcast where we talk about all things K-pop and Korean culture, and we do more album reviews like we did with 101, but with other groups. From time to time, we'll cover Luna, we'll cover Card if they ever release music again.
It has been a while, actually. Wow.
Yeah, if you really think
we
of
didn't get a fall release. Where was our?
They're
fall
too
card?
busy. They're too busy touring South America. They're too busy in South America. So
yeah.
So yeah,
BM
one
released a
day
song
I'll-
apparently recently. I didn't listen to it
Yeah.
yet though.
Oh yeah. One day we'll review season 1. I'll get you guys to finally watch it.
yeah. When we have time, we'll do season 1. Obviously, like in April, we'll see if we end up doing the boy group. Obviously, that's gonna our plans to go visit Korea, and obviously Jacob's gonna be there. Might throw that in a bit of whack, but if anything, that could literally mean we end up we could. There's by some magic.
There's
like
no way.
No, you can do it. We could do
There's
it.
like 3,000 people that get to go to those things.
I mean, if there's a will, there's a way. I'd love to go attend one of the like the concept evaluations. Like it'd fall right around that time too. So that'd be a crazy experience. And
That would actually be crazy.
like if anyone that watches this podcast like has like any
hey,
connections straight up,
Look at those foreigners in the audience. Where are they from?
and it's like like you see us like with the voting thing or whatever, just like that'd be amazing.
Yeah.
That'd be the dream. So
We gotta have
definitely,
like a huge sign. Subscribe to Truly Day.
I don't think you can bring. I know you can't bring signs, but all right, yeah. So we'd have to make like a ProduceCast like sign or whatever, and yeah. So I'm excited for that if we end up getting to witness any of that in person. So yeah, that'll do it for ProduceCast episode 7. I hope it was a good one, and until next time, good night and oyasumi.
Robbingly
Robbingly
oyasume.
Good night.
Robbingly.
Bye-bye.
Annyeong. Yena's rap is just
forgot
so
to
hard.
mention that.
It's
I love it.
so good.
Imagine
Like,
if Yena
yeah.
doesn't make this group. Honestly, imagine.
Yeah, they wouldn't have had it. Yeah, like, it's just so good.
I was mentioning. I'll let you finish, but
No, go ahead.
okay. Well, about Yena, like I was watching.